In our next story, we learn about a program new this year at Winston Churchill High School that helps refugee students from Bhutan adapt to a new school and their new life in Canada.
Okay. Ganga, very good. Pencil. Pencil, right? Pencil. You need to bring your own pencils, right?
David Fuller teaches a program for refugee students at Winston Churchill High School called English Language Learners with Limited Formal Schooling.
And so that basically means that we're unsure of how much education they had in their home countries. It was either interrupted or there was none, or there was, but it was so different that it's hard to integrate them into regular classrooms. Duotang. Good, duotang. Duotang.
Currently in its first year, the program addresses the education and social needs of a growing number of refugee students settling in Lethbridge.
Currently we have 18 students in this class. 17 of them are Bhutanese refugees. Most of them were born in the refugee camps, and a couple of the older ones were born in Bhutan while they were being forced out and moved into Nepal. And we have one Vietnamese permanent resident as well.
Many of these students come from difficult circumstances and face significant challenges adapting to a new school and a new life. David and education assistant Leah work with the students, teaching them English and preparing them to eventually enter regular classrooms. But they also provide guidance in a wide range of lifestyle areas.
It's sort of everything. How do we learn to live here? How do we become happy in our country? How do we become a citizen? How do we behave like contributing members to our society? How do we take care of each other? Those things need to happen along with academic growth. It's very important that we do not make fun of how we speak English, because some people speak really good English in this class, and some people are just learning to speak English.
One of the extra activities David has instituted in class is daily tea time. It gives students a chance to discuss what's on their minds and helps them form relationships. This program is a departure from how refugee students were treated in the past.
Prior to today's program, that typically was our response. The kids would come in and we didn't know what to do. Because again, they weren't your typical ESL student. So we would just put them in the back of a social 10 classroom and hope that that experience would, I guess, give them some skills and help them make the, I guess, the move to Canada more pleasant. But we found that wasn't enough. So Dave's role is to really get these kids ready to function within a more traditional classroom, and whatever that means, in some cases, is quite unique to each kid.
The Bhutanese community in Lethbridge numbers more than 800. It's the largest in Canada and is growing. Organizations like Lethbridge Family Services say programs like this one are essential to successful settlement.
It's a wonderful thing to be able to participate with the school board here in this particular kind of a classroom situation where there is a real understanding of the needs of kids who are learning English as a second language. And they're being taught what they should be taught in order to get facility in those languages and thus eventual success in Canada.
Sarbajit Timsina settled in Lethbridge 2 years ago. He has 2 children enrolled at Winston Churchill and says this program is a far cry from what they had in Nepal.
It's so important because back home the education system was completely different. His kid had to go to school when it was really dirty. It was really polluted place. They didn't have a proper education system. They didn't have proper way of sitting down. But here it's completely different. Everything is neat and clean. They come here to go to a proper school with a proper education system. And he's saying he's really happy and he's really fortunate to have kids sent to schools like this.
Ultimately, the success of this program depends on the students' ability to work, learn, and adapt, something teacher David Fuller says isn't a problem.
They love to learn. They want to work. They want to be engaged. They have dreams. They want to grow. They're so excited to come from where they have and have an opportunity. They want to take it. So it's probably the hardest working class I've ever taught.